I was speaking at one school one time, and a little girl in the back, they're talking to each other just like this. After they said my name, they said the record, and they announced how big I was. And these two little girls just talking and talking and talking. They didn't know how to read their lips. As these two little girls were talking, and I noticed what they were saying, and I noticed the little girl in the back, she was like, "That's a big Mexican." That's not funny, guys. Why are you all laughing at me? And I usually, when I'm speaking at schools, I normally tell this story about how I got big. I went from 250 pounds to 300 pounds, coming off of my grandmother's help. My grandmother, so I played left tackle when I was in college. Played left tackle. The Blind Side, anybody watched the movie The Blind Side? Anybody see that movie a couple years ago? Same position that I played. I played left tackle. They wanted me to be 300 pounds. I got to college at 250. My secret weapon, my grandmother, she helps me because every morning she gives me chorizo and huevo. At lunch, she makes me arroz and frijoles. I'm in Texas, so I know on the weekends, I love Texas because we get barbacoa on the weekend. But my number one favorite thing that my grandmother would make me, she'd flip over these homemade fresh tortillas de harina. I'd slap on some mantequilla, those tortillas. I'd get butter all over my shirt. Well, I said I was 250 pounds. I was at one school one time. It was actually an idea school. I think there's some idea students here today. I was hired to give a motivational talk to the students there at IDEA, and a little girl in the front row, I started off all small. I said I was only 250 pounds. Little girl, she was like, "But sir, that's still gordo." I speak at a lot of schools all across the country, so if it's at a white school, I tell them that gordo means strong. I know I can't get away with that here today. But I'm not here just to talk about food, because one day after one of my speeches, a little girl commented on my Instagram. She said, "Sir, I love your speech. It was amazing. I loved it, but I skipped breakfast and I was hungry when you talked about your grandma's tortillas." But today I have some volunteers. Where are my volunteers? First one, come up. Now, I know she has a big dream and a big vision for her life. The reason that we're here is because all of y'all got big dreams and big visions. But when I go and I speak at schools all across the country, I ask for student volunteers. The first volunteer is always someone little. She has big, huge dreams, big, huge goals, but on the outside she is. My grandma, she'd say it like this. She'd say, "Mijita, that's bien chiquita." Now, she represents little dreams because as I go and I speak all across the country, there's students that are going through so many things in life. They're getting bullied in school. There's millions of kids that are getting bullied. Kids that are dropping out. There's so many things that you have to overcome as a student today. So many students, they tell me, "Sir, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I don't have any vision for my life. I don't have any goals." So she represents for us today all those students that don't have a dream, don't have a vision. She represents little dreams, little vision. I read this book every single morning. It says that without a vision, the people perish. Everybody say real quick. Everybody say, "No little dreams."
No little dreams.
Come up here. What's your name? Carlos, you're a big dude. I can tell you're like me, and you like tamales a lot. Now, Carlos, today Carlos represents for us. Everybody say, "Big dreams."
Big dreams.
Hold on. Big dreams.
Big dreams.
Big goals.
Big goals.
Big vision.
Big vision.
When I was just in middle school, I remember the first time I put my shoulder pads on. I remember I put my helmet on. I looked in the mirror. I had a big dream and a big vision that I was going to go on to play college football. I had a big dream and a big vision that someday I was going to win some championships here in the Valley. But I started off on the B team. It's not funny, sir. Now, it's not where you start, it's where you... Some said end, some said finish. Let's try it. Let's say finish. It's not where you start, it's where you...
Finish.
So he's going to represent for us big dreams, big goals, and finishing strong. Everybody say finish strong.
Finish strong.
Now, I normally go through a progression, but I only got 10 minutes left, so I'm going to go straight to the big guy. One of my favorite things to do, I love talking to students about pushing. Everybody say push.
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 I love talking about pushing. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to stand on my back, because if you have a little dream, it's very easy for you to accomplish a little dream. But when you have a big dream and a big vision, you have to push. Let's say it one more time. Everybody say push.
Push.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand right here on this platform, or I'm going to be in push-up position. Carlos, you're going to stand on my back, and you're going to hold his hand. And I'm going to do a push-up with him standing on my back. Could someone pray for me real quick, please?
I need everyone's help. Y'all gotta say push on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Everybody give them a round of applause. They did great. They did great. I get hired. I get to talk to sports teams all across the country. I get to talk to students across the country. I see a little girl in a Georgetown shirt. They bring me in every single year. Kid from down here in the valley. They bring me in every single year to go and motivate Georgetown's football team, where I got to play. But I remember the first time they ever trusted me to make a game-winning shot. I remember 7th grade, I turn, I shoot the ball's flying through the air. Ball goes in, squish. Everybody go, squish. Okay, I'll be honest, it hit the rim, but it went in. And that day, my mom, she said to me, "Oh, son, I can't go to the game, but I'll be there when y'all get back." Bus arrives at school, my mom's not there. I make up a lie, tell the coach I have to walk home. As I'm walking home, I wonder, where's my mom at? Why was she there to pick me up? I finally get to the house, I knock on the door. And I didn't know what my mom had been doing drugs all day. I didn't know what my mom had been drinking all day. As I go and I get hired to speak at schools all across the country, they hire me to do Red Ribbon Week talks. I talk to them about the problems of drinking and doing alcohol, doing drugs. I speak to so many students, they tell me they have families that have similar situations as mine. Well, that day when I'm knocking on the door, my mom, she leaves me locked out. She actually is hallucinating. She thinks I'm someone bad coming together, so she walks my brother and sister to one side of the house. She told them to hide in the restroom and in the closet. I'm banging the wall. Boom, boom, mom, open the door, it's me. Boom, boom, mom, please, please. I can remember the sun coming down, tears coming down my eyes. I speak to so many students across America, they tell me that they have so many things that they're trying to overcome. They have big dreams and big visions, but things in life sometimes get real hard. One of the things you have to do is you have to push. Everybody say push. One of my favorite motivational speakers, he says, if you fall down, try to fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. Everybody say, get up.
Get up.
My coach used to say a little bit different. My coach said, it doesn't matter what happened yesterday, you can always win today. Everybody say, win today. But my number one favorite way that I've been told that same kind of thing, my grandfather who was raised down here in the valley, the one who had to take care of me when my mom went to prison. We were living in Houston, I get sent to come live in the valley with my grandfather. My grandfather was a field worker. So every day I'd go to school. After school I'd go to football practice, basketball practice. After that, I was going row by row, working with my grandfather. My grandfather gave me his words of wisdom one day. My grandfather, when I'm 16 years old, he decides to leave me to live all by myself, because he was a migrant worker also, which meant that he traveled for work. So my grandfather travels all the way to South Carolina to work. For 6 months, he leaves me to live all by myself. I remember right before he left, he wanted to give me some wisdom, some words of advice. So my grandfather sits down next to me right in the moments he's about to leave, and he gives me the words of wisdom that changed my life. Words that I still hold on to this day, and I teach to students all across America. My grandfather looked me in the eyes and he told me, "Mijo, en esta vida hay que luchar." If you don't speak Spanish, it means, son, in this life, you have to fight, you have to wrestle. Everybody say, luchar. Luchar. I was at one school, they were all white kids, they were like, luchar. Let's try it again right here, okay? Everybody say, luchar. Luchar. See, 4 years of coming through high school and fighting and wrestling, working hard every single day, getting better at school, working hard to get better at athletics, every single day. Everybody say, every day. Every day. Luchar. Every day. So I worked hard every single day. I remember the special day, I'm sitting down at home. I get a letter in the mail. And it says, congratulations, I've been accepted to Georgetown University, like that young lady's wearing her sweater. And I became the first one in my family to go off to college. Thank you. I had teachers that told me that I wouldn't be able to get into that school. I had a counselor tell me that I wouldn't get in. I had to fight and wrestle. I didn't have a computer at home. I had to get into the school every single day to do those applications. I had to fight and wrestle. I'm so proud to tell you that I became the first one in my family to graduate college. So I tell a student story across the country. I remember the first day I fly up to my school. I fly Southwest from Harlingen. I had 2 free bags, Southwest. They're one of our sponsors. No, they're not. Edit that out. They're not a sponsor. And I go up to the 8th floor. I move in. And 4 more years after that, 4 years of fighting and wrestling, luchando, I remember I got my jersey on, and I look good. I got my helmet on, and I look good. And they announce my name. They say, Jonathan Eric Medina. I stand up proud. I walk across the stage, and I shake the president of the university's hand. I didn't say let go, sir. Because I was in a football game. It wasn't my jersey, it wasn't my helmet, it was my cap and gown. And I became the first one in my family to walk across the stage and graduate. Thank you. Thank you. He's like, his hand's sweaty. I'm so proud to tell you, I was the first one, but I was not the last one. See, I believe that learning to fight and wrestle, luchando, to push, wasn't just a message for me. See, I didn't know at the time, but it was affecting another family. See, I tell people about Georgetown, and sometimes I'll talk about my neighbor being the prince of the country. His dad was the king. Down the hall from me, there were some Kennedys. So that day, they were watching me graduate, the royal family, the Kennedys. But more important than that, there was a family that got in one car here in South Texas. They drove 30 hours across the country. My brothers, I'm the oldest of 6, so it's Joshua, Jasmine, Gilbert, Jeremy, and Lucy. They went from Harlingen, Texas. They drove all the way to Washington, D.C. so that my brothers and sisters could watch it. Everybody say vision. Vision. Dream. Dream. I'm proud to tell you I was the first one, but I wasn't the last one. See, my brother became the 2nd strongest player in college football just about 4 years ago. I remember the day that he's working out for his bench press. There were about 30 NFL coaches. They surrounding my brother, watching him. They're taking notes. There's 40 other athletes that are also trying out for the NFL that day. They all stopped their workouts. Everybody's watching my brother. I'm a proud older brother, so I'm trying to film it with like an iPad. I'm having to reach over all the people. It's loud. My brother gets so pumped up, he gets to slap himself in the chest. All the other players get excited. They begin to slap themselves in the chest. I'm just holding an iPad. I get excited. I slap myself in the chest. Real quick, everybody, 2 times. I'm filming my brother. My brother gets so pumped and excited, my brother begins to slap himself in the face. All the players slap themselves in the face. I'm just filming over all the people. I get excited. I slap myself in the face. Real quick, look at your neighbor. Pull back as hard as you can. No, don't do it. Now. I'm standing over all the people. I'm filming. I get a tug on my shirt, and it's a little tiny man. He says, "Are you Jonathan?" I said, "Yes." And I went right back to filming my brother. I get a second tug on my shirt. He says, "Are you Jonathan?" I said, "Yes." And I went right back to filming my brother. He tugs on my shirt a 3rd time. He says, "I'm your brother's agent." So I listened. And he says, "Your brother told me." I asked him, I said, "How did you become so successful? Your brother's an amazing athlete. He's an amazing student. He's an All-American. He's 2nd strongest player in college football. He's been a championship winner in college." I asked him, "How did he become so successful?" And your brother told me, "Sir, I want you to know that when I was really young, I had to push because my parents went to prison. I had to push because other kids and other adults told me I couldn't make it. I had to fight and wrestle because having a big dream and a big goal is hard." And he said, "But how did you do it? Who showed you that you could do that?" He said, "My older brother Jonathan showed me the way." And I went from being pumped and excited to getting all watery-eyed because I love my brother. How many of y'all got brothers and sisters? How many of y'all got family that you care about? See, I believe that when you push,
Maybe your brothers and sisters are watching you and you show them the way. Maybe when you fight and wrestle, maybe they're watching you and you show them the way. Maybe when you luchar, everybody say luchar. Maybe when you luchar, maybe they're watching you and you show them the way. Thank you very much. It's been an honor and pleasure to be with you.